Sydney Sweeney may have good genes, but unfortunately for her, she doesn't have good numbers at the box office with her performance in the brand new rated R drama Christy. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. Now, there's no doubt about it, Sydney Sweeney is a very attractive woman. She is hot, but unfortunately for her, her new movie isn't doing very hot as it opened this weekend with only $1.3 million generated, making it one of the worst US starts ever for a movie opening in more than 2,000 theatres across America. So there's no doubt about it. This movie, Christy, is an absolute flop. Now, I feel like over the years, we've seen a lot of dramas, we've seen a lot of movies based on boxers. Now, some have been good, some have been bad, and then you've got your classics. Nothing's going to beat Rocky, in my opinion. If I ever want to watch a movie featuring a boxer, I will just watch Rocky. I will just watch Sylvester Stallone. I've not really got any interest in watching anything besides that. Now, there has been some decent ones, I'm not denying it, but for me, if I want to watch any sort of movie that has got something to do with a boxer or in a story, I mean, Rocky's got the best characters, it's got the best story. In my opinion, it's got the best fights. Why else would I want to watch anything other than Rocky? And it turns out not many people are wanting to watch this movie. $1.3 million made in the opening weekend. That is a very, very poor start. A horrible start, in fact. However, Sydney Sweeney is not sweating it. She's got a lot of money in the bank, so it's not like this is going to make or break her career. Unlike Rocky Balboa, when Sylvester Stallone made that movie, he was desperate. He actually refused to take a payment for the rights of that movie because he thought that movie was going to be a success, and he was pretty much down to his last dollar when he made that movie. Sydney Sweeney doesn't have that pressure, and she's come out and she says it's not about making money. She says that it doesn't really matter. The impact it has financially doesn't necessarily determine whether it's a success or not. She claims that it having an impact on people can make the movie a success. Now, I'm not saying I totally disagree. I think a movie can impact people in a positive way, but at the same time, you make movies to generate money. The movie directors, movie companies, movie studios, they don't make movies just to try and put a smile on people's faces. They make movies to make money. It's always been that way. It always will be that way. Anyway, this is what Sydney Sweeney had to say. She says, quote, "We don't always just make art for numbers. We make it for the impact. And Christy has been the most impactful project of my life." End of quote. Now here, that's good for her. Maybe it's been an impactful project for her, but it's not impactful in the numbers. It's not doing impactful at the box office, and that is the main reason for any movie. It is what it is. They make movies to make money, and this one's not making any. So it's flopped. It doesn't matter. Oh, it's got a special place in my heart. It doesn't fucking matter. It's flopped. The numbers are shit. Anyway, the film was directed by David Mickode. The film co-stars Ben Foster, Merritt Weaver, and Katie O'Brien. And it's based on Martin's rise to fame in the 1990s as she went from the daughter of a West Virginia coal miner to one of the most prominent female boxers in the US. It also depicts her coach-turned-husband's physical abuse, culminating in an attempt on her life. The film received mixed reviews, with some critics praising Sweeney's performance, in which she plays Martin over 20 years, as worthy of award consideration. So The Guardian also reviewed this, and critic Benjamin Lee said of the film, quote, "Just isn't nearly good enough. A by-the-numbers slog that fails to prove Sweeney's status as a one to watch." End of quote. Now here, what I will say, and I know this is going to get negative reviews. This film's going to get negative reviews. It's did very poorly at the box office. One of the worst, box office attractions. But that doesn't necessarily mean the film's bad in quality. We know that Sydney Sweeney has been making waves over the last like year. We know what her political views are. She had the jeans, you know, the blue jeans commercial, and people were basically calling her out for being racist and all this bullshit. So I guarantee you there will be people boycotting this movie because Sweeney is in it. So again, I don't think this doesn't necessarily mean that Sweeney did a horrible job acting, and it might not even be a bad movie. Hell, it could be a good movie, but the numbers just don't reflect that. And I definitely think that it is down to, you know, what she's done over the past year. The fact that she has been vocal about her support for Donald Trump, the fact that she's a Republican, and then obviously the controversy behind that blue jeans commercial. Also, Sweeney said the following in regards to the handling of domestic violence in the movie. She said on Instagram, quote, "This film stands for survival, courage, and hope. Through our campaigns, we've helped raise awareness for so many affected by domestic violence. We all signed on to this film with the belief that Christy's story could save lives. Thank you to everyone who saw, felt, and believed, and will believe in this story for years to come. If Christy gave even one woman the courage to take her first step towards safety, then we will have succeeded." End of quote. Listen, I get it. That's a nice wee spin on it. She's saying if we give one woman the courage to stand up and save her life, then that's a success. I get what she's saying, but in reality, it's just not. You know, the movie producer, the movie studio, they will not. They won't be happy having millions of dollar losses just so one random person that they don't know saves their life. And that's not me being cruel. That's just me being honest. They don't give a shit about that. They care about the numbers. They care about making profit. They care about success. Yeah, you can have additional factors like, you know, the impact the movie could have on people and maybe saving lives, but that's not the reason why these movies are created. They're created to be profitable financially, and this one isn't. Whether it's down to the quality of the movie or whether it's down to the people who are in it and just not being very popular. But anyway, guys, you know what? I'm actually going to admit something here. I've never actually seen Sydney Sweeney in a show. I've never actually seen Sydney Sweeney act. I know who she is. I know her from the jeans commercial. I know her from obviously entertainment and like she is. There's a lot of articles around her fashion. You know, sometimes she steals the headlines with her dresses and stuff like that. She's a very attractive woman. So, I mean, a lot of people know who she is. But in terms of her work, in terms of her abilities as an actress, I've never actually seen Sydney Sweeney in anything. So, I think I know of a few things that she's in, but I've never watched them. I believe she was in Yellow Jackets, but I've never watched it. So, maybe that's something I need to check out. Maybe that's something I need to give a go and see if Sydney Sweeney's any good. Or, you know, is she just a, you know, pretty blonde that has managed to get a success due to her looks. But even then, you know, a lot of people debate, is she even attractive? I think she is. Anyway, that's it. Maybe we'll put a poll or something, rank Sydney Sweeney's attractiveness. I don't know. Anyway, guys, that is it. Been Fog Entertainment. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and peace.